July 19th, 2022, we are going to begin our meeting. May I have Commissioner Manolo Reyes give us a prayer?
You don't have to do it. I know that you are in good terms with the Lord. Always been in good terms with the Lord. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lord, for giving us the opportunity to serve our city. Please, Lord, enlighten us and give us the wisdom to put aside our agendas and personal interest in favor of those that need it the most, and do the best for our city, not for ourselves. Amen.
Amen. Commissioner Russell, would you please say the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to call the meeting to order. I believe the city attorney's office has a statement that needs to be read into the record.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Any person who is a lobbyist pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code must register with the city clerk and comply with related city requirements for lobbyists before appearing before the City Commission. A person may not lobby a city official, board member, staff member until registering. A copy of the code section about lobbyists is available in the city clerk's office or online at www.municode.com. Any person making a presentation, formal request, or petition to the City Commission concerning real property must make the disclosures required by the City Code in writing. A copy of this code section is available in the office of the City Clerk or online at www.municode.com. The City of Miami requires that anyone requesting action by the City Commission must disclose before the hearing any consideration provided or committed to anyone for agreement to support or withhold objection to the requested action pursuant to City Code Section 2-8. Any documents offered by the City Commission that have not been provided 7 days before the meeting as part of the agenda materials will be entered into the record at the City Commission's discretion. In accordance with Section 2-33F and G of the City Code, the agenda and material for each item on the agenda is available during business hours at the City Clerk's office or online at www.miamigov.com. Any person may be heard by the City Commission through the chair for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the City Commission unless modified by the chair. Public comment will begin at approximately 9:30 and remain open until public comment is closed by the chair. Members of the public wishing to address the body may do so by submitting written comments via the online public comment form. Please visit www.miamigov.com/meeting instructions for detailed instructions on how to provide public comment using the online public comment form. The comments submitted through the comment form have been and will be distributed to elected officials and city administration throughout the day so elected officials may consider the comments. Additionally, the online comment form will remain open during the meeting to accept comments and distribute to elected officials up until the chair closes public comment. Public comment may also be provided live at City Hall, located at 3500 Pan American Drive, Miami, Florida, subject to any and all city rules as they may be amended. If the proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such later date before the City Commission takes action on such proposition. When addressing the City Commission, the member of the public must first state their name, their address, and what item will be spoken about. Any person with a disability requiring assistance, auxiliary aids, and services for this meeting may notify the city clerk. The city has provided different public comment methods to indicate, among other things, the public's support, opposition, or neutrality on items and topics to be discussed at the City Commission meeting in compliance with Section 286.0114C Florida statutes. The public has been given the opportunity to provide public comment during the meeting and within reasonable proximity and time before the meeting. Please note, commissioners have been briefed generally by city staff and the city attorney on items on the agenda today. Anyone wishing a verbatim record of an item considered at this meeting may request it at the Office of Communications or view it online at www.miamigov.com. This meeting can be viewed live on Miami TV, miamigov.com, the city's Facebook page, the city's Twitter page, the city's YouTube channel, and Comcast Channel 77. The broadcast will also have closed captioning. Thank you.
Mr. City Clerk? I don't see him.
Thank you, Chair. There are no planning and zoning items on today's agenda, so there are no further statements to be made for the order of the day.
What about your statement for public comments?
It's your prerogative, but if you would like to open up public comment for all items now, you may do so. Or you can go to the order of the day if you want to defer and continue any items. You could certainly, I'm not sure if the manager has any items that need to be deferred or continued, and definitely deferred, withdrawn during the order of the day portion of today's agenda.
Madam Chair, what the portion that you're requesting, since the PZ items were reset, we don't have that in additional instruction today.
Okay.
I have a few protocol items if we're doing that first. I don't know if, yes, some proclamations. Can you not hear me?
Try that
New
again.
microphones.
Go again.
My office has a few proclamations to issue.
Okay,
if
and
that's,
that's what
if it's the appropriate time.
What I'm trying to facilitate now, I see our Congresswoman Frederica Wilson in the office, in the House, and I'd like to recognize her and also take her item out of turn. So do we need to, before we set the agenda, I'd like to go ahead and recognize her.
Testing. So you're calling to order item RE6.
Yes.
Understood.
So can we have our item RE6 heard? And if there's anyone here for public comment that would like to speak on RE6, please stand forward.
Oh, you're gonna hit the mic, okay. She wants to stand. Yes. Madam Chair, before we start, I would like to postpone some.
Let me say good morning to everyone, to everybody in the congregation, in the audience, as well as our commissioners. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for voting to name a park in my honor, and I'm grateful for that, and I want to thank you. I did not know about it until it was happening. And when our commissioner said to me, we're going to name a park after you, I said, oh no, I don't need anything named after me. And so you all did it, and I am grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I'm here this morning to speak on this item, for naming of the West Grove to Little Bahamas in Coconut Grove. For those of you who don't know the history of our section, I'm always thankful to give a little bit of history, because when I first heard about naming this Little Bahama, it came from Miss Corky Dozier, because we were in a meeting that Officer Leonard called to talk about bringing the Goombay back to Coconut Grove. And she mentioned that we should be calling this Little Bahama because she's been going back and forth to the Bahamas to get off the police van and all that to come back for Goombay. And so I'm happy when Congresswoman Wilson took it up and said, oh yes, this is something should happen, and this should be named Little Bahamas. And for those of you who don't know, if you came from other places other than Bahamas, you need to know that the West Grove is the first section that was dug out for this Coconut Grove city. We were a city, you know. The Coconut Grove was a city. We were incorporated in 1876. The city of Miami was not incorporated until 1896, 20 years later. And a lot of people don't know that. But it was because of the Bahamians. They came, they used the dynamite and everything else that the people here in America at that time did not know how to use. And they were able to dig out a street that they called Evangelist Street. And the reason they called it Evangelist Street, because the first three black churches that were found in the grove were Macedonia, which was on Charles Avenue. It was Evangelist Street back then. And then Macedonia, Miss St. Paul AME Church, and then Christ Episcopal Church. And those three churches were for people of color. We were called Colored Town. All of my childhood was Colored Town. And when I came back from nursing school, they had changed it to another name. And we've had several different names. And finally, they decided we used to be able to walk down to the end of Douglas Road and put our feet in the water. And then they decided to make that South Grove. And where the developers came and decided to build up all back over on Edgewater Drive and around. And so those things changed in Coconut Grove. And then finally it came West Grove. So I think the time has now come. And I'm here to ask this commission to vote in favor of having the name changed to Little Bahama. I want you to know Cokie Dosha wasn't even from the Bahamas. She was an actress who came here to play first person of color to be able to be in a play at the Coconut Grove Playhouse. And that was way back before colored people couldn't even go there. And I think when we were Colored Town and White Town, and that was in White Town. But anyway, the idea this morning is to have you know how important it is to me, because my grandparents, both sex maternal and paternal, came from the Bahamas. And so I am a Bahamian by birth, even though I was born in Coconut Grove 94 years and 7 months ago. So I think all of you know how I feel about Coconut Grove. I love the place, and it is a place where I think Little Bahama, you know, we already have Little Cuba, and we have Little Havana, and so Little Haiti, and all that. So having Little Bahamas fits right in. And the Congresswoman is here to speak on that behalf as well. And so I won't take any more of your time unless somebody want to hear a little bit more about our history. But I want to thank you for coming this morning, and I'm hoping and praying that all of you are in favor of having this designation of Little Bahama for our area. Thank you so much for having us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Congresswoman, coming up next.
Good morning. To our commissioners and our chairwoman King and the mayor, I am so pleased and excited to be here today. As a Bahamian American, I could not be prouder to speak in support of Little Bahamas resolution brought forth by Commissioner Ken Russell. And we are so grateful to Commissioner Russell for his recognition of the vital importance of this issue, and I thank him. As many of you know, the city of Miami was founded by Bahamian settlers in the 19th century, with Bahamians representing 1/3 of the registered signatories on the state of the city's incorporation. They were here before anyone else. And I'm going to name some Bahamians, I'm losing my voice, for you, to let you know who these important settlers are and who the descendants are. Father Gibson, Thelma Gibson, Dr. George Simpson, Dr. Freddie Young, Senator Oscar Brennan, Councilwoman Shannon Igadora, Commissioner Dennis Moss, Dr. Dorothy Fields, Aretha Boone, Marielle Lundy, Yolanda Cass Jackson, Garth Reeves, Enid Pinckney, Commissioner Oliver Gilbert, Senator Chevron Jones, Eric Knowles, Russ Jolivet, Commissioner Barbara Jordan, Representative Felicia Robinson, Maud Newbold, Commissioner Audrey Edmondson, Dr. Evelina Bessman, Senator Dwight Bullard, Representative Ed Bullard, Clarice Cooper, Bishop Victor T. Curry, Judge Wilkie Ferguson, Elias Cavella, Father Richard Barry, Attorney Larry Hanfield, Father Kenneth Major, Father John Colmer, Leona Cooper, Alexis Snyder, Joyce Postel, and Charles Scott. Today, there are more Bahamian Americans in Miami-Dade County than the other subgroup of African American people. And I stand before you, I can't help reflect on my family's own history during this period. I really can't talk, so I'm just going to ask you. I don't think that's going to help. I think it might. Thank you. Throughout South Florida, and particularly in Coconut Grove, Bahamian settlers have played a central role in erecting some of the most treasured landmarks and infusing the area with many historical contributions. Each of these landmarks is shaping our history and traditions. And while Miami has always been a thriving city of immigrants, this proud Bahamian cultural heritage and history has lacked the distinction it deserves until today. With so much Bahamian history and those early stories of the city's settlement in danger of being erased, we must work to preserve and enrich the Bahamian influence historical sites, arts, and culture. Today, we're taking a big step towards ensuring the contributions and accomplishments of the Bahamian people are rightfully memorialized. That's why I'm excited to be here today to voice my enthusiastic support for the Little Bahamas resolution. This, in addition to providing my resounding and emphatic support for this great resolution, I'm also honored to be presenting a $2.2 million earmark check for the construction of a Bahamian Museum of Arts and Culture right in the Little Bahamas community. I want it to become a focal point and a beacon of cultural history, flourishing with tourism, just as neighborhoods like Little Havana and Little Haiti and Chinatown have gone to preserve and promote the importance of their cultural influence. This funding is just the beginning. I've applied for another earmark of $4 million in federal funding to make sure that this museum is the best it can be now and into the future. And I'm working with the County Commission and the Board of Tourism to get even more money. So with your support, the time has come to bestow this long overdue recognition to the proposed Little Bahamas of Coconut Grove neighborhood. And lastly, I want to take this opportunity to shift gears for a moment and present to you, the City of Miami, another check of over $138 million, of which $687,000 will be going to the creation of the first and only COVID-19 memorial in Florida, in the heart of Liberty City on 54th Street. It's going to be dedicated to the lives lost during the pandemic. It will be fabulous. Also included in this check, more than $137 million in American Rescue Plan funds to the City of Miami, which is helping you move forward in the aftermath of the COVID pandemic. These funds includes money for transit, COVID testing, vaccines for all, housing and rental assistance, and so much more. It is my hope that this money that we in Congress and President Biden fought hard for us to bring home to you has kept people in their homes, put vaccines in the arms of our loved ones, kept people working, helped reopen and operate safe schools, prevented small businesses hit hard from the pandemic from going out of business, and helped our community recover after 2 devastating years of unpredictability and loss. I'm here to tell you that it is because of the hard work of the federal government that made it possible to deliver for working families in South Florida. So to all the teachers, small business owners, part-time workers, service staff, retirees, healthcare professionals, and families in the city of Miami that have felt the pain of uncertainty during the pandemic, know that we are delivering for you. On behalf of the Congress and President Biden, I present the city of Miami with these checks. Thank you. And please excuse my voice. So
Thank you.
who am I going to present these
Thank you,
checks to?
Congresswoman. Do you want us to come down there, or you want to come up here? Come down here? Okay, all right, we'll come down to you.
And Chair, just for the public record, Commissioner Correa would also like to co-sponsor RE6. Commissioner Correa will co-sponsor RE6, as well as Commissioner King. Understood.
Come on, this man.
Oh, no, you can stay right there. Please, please.
So, John, send me that picture. I'll send it to you.
Okay, and now, with here, you guys, you guys take that one. That's okay. Joe.
Just that. Okay.
Collect that together.
Here's our mask.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Ruben. She just told me, I said, that's Ruben Roberts right there. You know who when I said Ruben
Is
Roberts?
there anyone
She thought it
else
was
here
Ruben
who
Young.
would like to speak on RE6?
Don't tell her.
Yes.
Please come forward.
She's here. And Reuben Roberts as well.
Everyone else who would like to speak on RE6, please come to the podiums.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Dorothy Jenkins Fields, public historian, certified archivist, and historic preservationist. I am the founder and creator of the Black Archives Historic Lyric Theater Cultural Arts Complex. I am pleased to be here today and to speak in support of the designation of Little Bahamas in Coconut Grove. Let me give you just a brief history. The legacy of the West Grove is well documented. The West Grove is one of the oldest and most fascinating neighborhoods in Miami, with amazing historic sites and notable places and plenty of present-day culture to offer. This cultural heritage neighborhood has earned the right of official designation as Little Bahamas in Coconut Grove. It showcases the cultural heritage of the Bahamian immigrants who helped build Miami. And after arriving in the early 1880s, Bahamians lived and worked in this area and were the primary labor force throughout Miami and the region for more than 50 years. As the city of Miami's primary workforce for more than 50 years, the early influence of the Bahamians is recognized in the first issue of History Miami's journal, Tequesta. Coral Gables developer George Merrick recorded his observations in an article titled Pre-Flagler Influences on the Lower Florida East Coast. And he said black workers, who were mostly Bahamians, brought inspiration to the planters who were skeptical of the coral rocky land. And many lives were lost as the Bahamians planted the dynamite needed to create the space to make the streets that we now ride on. Bahamians brought and shared their own trees, vegetables, and fruits, some of which had not been seen in Miami before. The Bahamian skill in masonry building with native coral limestone built the walls on the roads and other uses. This was remarkable. Bahamians used their skills and knowledge in building Miami, the Magic City. And as I say to you now that as the next Miami is developing, descendants of the pioneer Bahamians have saved the past in the present-day setting by restoring and preserving the cemeteries and the Mariah Brown House, the Lola B. Walker Homeowners Association's nomination for the McFarland Homestead Division goes back as far as 1994 when it was listed on the National Register of Historic Places. And in recent times, the E.W.F. Starup House, built in 1897 by E.W.F. Starup, was restored and transformed into a vacation rental. Numerous heritage markers throughout the area identify sites of historical significance. The Ace Theater, for instance, is listed on the National Register and is being restored now and will again provide entertainment and outreach to the entire diverse community. I say to you, the legacy of the West Grove is well documented, and I believe this cultural heritage neighborhood has earned the distinction, the official name, Little Bahamas in Coconut Grove. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. To Congresswoman Wilson, the elite staff here, commissioners, our board. I'm Linda Williams. My address is 3523 Charles Avenue. I'm temporarily at 3517 Hibiscus Street. I'm here as first vice chair of homeowners, Coconut Grove Homeowners and Tenants Association. We have, hopefully everyone has received our resolution in support of this designation, Little Bahamas of Coconut Grove. But I would like to, for the record, remind all of us that while Bahamians were here first and worked very hard, and this designation is certainly worthy, long overdue, but there were others that came to our community and served, and we cannot forget those, because it wasn't about where they came from. It was merely because of the color of their skin. So we cannot forget the Georgians, South Carolinians, and others that also came to Miami primarily for work. Again, HODA supports this designation, and we do have a few conditions. We know that a museum is not going to be the only attraction to Little Bahamas of Coconut Grove. We'd like to know what the marketing plan is. We'd like to know what the strategy is, and who will still be here to benefit from this designation. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir?
Good morning, Chairwoman and
Morning.
Commissioner. My name is Ruben Roberts. I am the immediate past president of the Miami-Dade branch of the NAACP and the CEO of RER Consulting. I am in favor of the item RE6 designating Little Bahamas of Coconut Grove, and I'll tell you why. I was born in the Bahamas. I've been here most of my life, lived between here and the Bahamas. The contributions that Bahamians have made are innumerous. You've heard from two folks before me who are definitely pioneers and contributed to contributed to some of the things that Bahamians or Bahamian descendants, and that is Ms. Gibson and Dr. Fields. I did a video, hopefully you all will see it, where I interviewed Dr. Gibson, Ms. Gibson, Dr. Fields, and Dr. Enid Pitney, and they talked a little bit about the history of the islands. For all of you on this dais, I think we all have some other place of origin or ties to some other nation land, and we understand the contributions that we've made. But one of the things that this will do, and when you vote in favor of it, it will actually preserve the history of the contributions that Bahamians have made. We understand that development and growth is just a part of life. And so we know that the neighborhood is changing. We know that gentrification is happening. That's just a part of life all over. But we need to have something to memorialize the contributions of the Bahamian people in this country, and especially in Coconut Grove. They came to work in the groves, the pineapple fields. They mined the coral rock, helped use the coral rock to build homes. Okay, is that my time? Okay, but I just want to say again that I am in support of this item, and I hope that you all do your due diligence and vote in favor of this item. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here for RE6? Morning, Elvis.
Good morning, Commissioners. Elvis Cruz, 631 Northeast 57th Street. I just want to very briefly thank everyone for being involved and bringing this forward. And I want to thank the longtime resident. I thoroughly enjoyed her recounting her stories of growing up in Coconut Grove. And I certainly hope that someone is going to interview that wonderful woman and record and memorialize what it's been like growing up in the Grove and living there for all these many years. That's a really important component of the history and culture of the West Grove. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone else here to speak on RE6? Seeing none, public comment for RE6 is now closed. May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'll make the motion, and I'd like to make a comment as well.
Go ahead.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for being here, and thank you to my fellow commissioners for co-sponsoring and supporting this effort. It's been a long time coming. My father's ashes are spread in the Bahamas, and I grew up with him taking me there. and teaching me to honor a culture of a very special people. And I did not truly know the history of the Bahamian footprint in Miami until becoming elected. And that story should be better known. It should be taught to everyone who goes through schools here. But I realized once I became the representative for this area, I have a responsibility to honor my father's teachings to me and the community that I serve. The developers of the 1800s needed the people of the West Grove, but not the land. The developers of the 2000s need the land, but not necessarily the people. And that's where we need to put a flag in the ground. And that flag will be Little Bahamas of Coconut Grove. That plus a cultural museum could be thought of as a thank you to the past, a remembrance of history, but we believe this flag should be planted as a sign of what's to come in the future. A pride in a community that will be redeveloped for those who made it, for those who live here now, and for those who would like to return. So our job is not done simply by naming a community and creating a museum. We must create the housing. We must create the housing. And in my last 6 months here, I will be introducing items to move forward with many of the stakeholders in the community who have been working for years to assemble land for affordable housing, find partners for affordable housing, seek entitlements for affordable housing. And I know that there will be the will of this commission to do it, because it is not driven by me, it is driven by this community. Even this resolution today, I have co-sponsorships. This is not mine. But you'll notice I deferred it so many times, and that wasn't because I didn't have the votes up here. It's because I wanted to make sure it came from the community, and we had to work on a little bit of consensus building. And so I'm very happy to enter into the record not only the letter of Congresswoman Wilson's support, but also Dr. Young of the NAACP's support, the Homeowners and Tenants Association of Coconut Grove Village West Homeowners and Tenants Association support, as well as the National Black Child Development Institute. The neighborhood recognizes this as a very special day, and I'm very thankful to my commissioners for bringing this together. But again, more to do, and something that we'll be seeking. The Goombay Festival that came back, and I hope all of you got a chance to enjoy it, was but a taste of what can be. Next year, we'd like to bring the Goombay Festival back to Grand Avenue on the street where it belongs. A true street festival of culture and food and music. But we'll need your help. We'll need the funding for that from the mayor's office, from our office, sponsorships, and hopefully it becomes an event in perpetuity, not being fed hand to mouth year to year, but then it becomes an annual event. So again, thank you, commissioners, and I'm happy to move the item.
Seconded by Commissioner Carollo. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations. At this time, we are going to set the agenda. Commissioners, Vice Chair, do you have any items that you'd like to defer?
This is the first time that we're getting some of these items since our new ordinance. So I want to make sure that we do, thank you, we do right and we do justice. And I'd like to, because it will set a precedent in whatever we do in these items now, I'd like to defer CA3 and CA4. And I think it was a mistake for these to have been put into the CA category because
they were going to be, they were going to be pulled from CA.
Yeah, they would never be part of the CA in the future.
Okay, wait a minute. Those two items, particularly, we have a representative for CA4 here, and both of these items are in my district, and I actually, should I make the Jennings disclosure now? So let me make my Jennings disclosure. Per the applicable provisions of Miami 21 and Florida law, I, Christine King, as City Commissioner am disclosing that I spoke to a representative for CA3 and CA4 and the subject of our meeting was this item. So the subject of our meeting, I'd like to introduce you to, for example, with CA4, if you could come forward.
Yeah, but Madam Chair, I want to make a genuine discussion, disclosure also. I had received communication, I had communication with representatives.
So I just like to
Basically,
get
Chairwoman, I respect you if they want to speak, but let me say this. These properties have been acquiring additional monies due to the city for years and years and years. So for us to bring it back to another meeting, it's not going to hurt anything there. This is why I'm asking for that, because my concern is that, and I saw that they were in your property, that's why I asked for that in particular, because I want to do what's right in these and every one of these. But my concern is that these are the first two. And whatever we do is going to not wade in of what we do into the future, but also what the new ordinance that we pass would say. Because if this becomes something that everyone knows that they don't have to abide by what we put in the ordinance, that they could just come up here and get everything wiped out, then what have we done? We've opened the Pandora's box even worse. So I haven't had the time to sit down with the administration and get into a lot of this, how long they've been here, if there have been transfers of properties on any of these or not, and other factors that might make them different from other items that will get up and could affect my vote on them. And that's all that I'm asking, because time so I can sit with the administration and be able to get everything explained, which I haven't had the time.
Madam Chair, if I may, can we, just for consistency and can we set the order of the day first, decide what we're going to keep on and keep off, and then that way we can kind of proceed forward with with whatever items we want to take out of order. We can certainly do that, but I'd like to see if we can kind of get the order of the day set, because we bounced around a little bit.
Right, we have bounced around a little bit, and it's an unusual meeting. This, I believe, we don't have another meeting until September.
No, we have one in July.
The 28th, okay.
The 28th.
So if we can bring it back on the 28th, I'll be amenable to that?
Sure, that's what I was trying to do.
Okay, all right, we can do that. All right, so let's set the order of the day. We're going to defer CA3 and CA4 until July 28th, which is the very next meeting of the commission meeting, which will give my colleague a chance to...
And feel free to contact my office if you want to meet with me and give me any input. I would gladly meet with you.
Okay? All right, thank you. Commissioner, do you have any more items that you'd like to defer?
No, just those two.
Commissioner Reyes, do you have any? I have PH7 that I'd like to defer.
Chair, what date would you like to defer PH7?
I'm going to defer that indefinitely.
Understood.
Commissioner, are there any items that you'd like to defer? Commissioner Russell? Mr. Manager, do you have any items that you'd like to defer?
No, so the only request we had on our slate was the personal appearance, which is PA1, as a time certain for 10, but we're past 10 o'clock already, so.
Are they here?
Not sure it really applies.
Yes,
Yeah, they're here.
Okay, so let's have the, now that we've set the agenda, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Madam Chair, if I may, I would like to take out of order RE1, now before we present
Okay.
which is the acceptance of all the funds that the legislature has granted the city of Miami.
Okay. We're going to open public comment up for RE1. Anyone here to speak on RE1? Seeing none, public comment period is closed. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Now we may have the public appearance.
Is there another?
And Chair, just for the record, Commissioner Croy would like to co-sponsor RE1.
Thank you.
As would I, Madam Chair. RE1. Madam Chair, I also like to, defer RE7. Apologize. Make sure the Commissioner gets it.
RE7?
RE7.
Just,
Mr. Manager, did you get that? Do we need to make RE7? Do we need to take a vote on that?
RE7 is in play.
But defer to what?
Oh, you want to defer it?
Yes.
Right.
Until July 28th.
Okay, is there a motion for the deferral?
Motion.
I just made it.
Okay. And seconded?
Second.
All in favor?
Can I get a, Madam Chair? On RE7, Commissioner, is there a time sensitivity to that? Can we push it to the first meeting in September?
There's a time sensitivity, but
Yeah.
we haven't heard yet from them, so I'm waiting to hear from them.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we'll do, if we need to defer again, we'll defer again on July 28th.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
So we got to vote on it?
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Madam Chair, we have all our guests here, and they are been waiting. We told
Okay.
them 10 o'clock, and we're a little bit late.
If they can come forward.
But let's gather everybody.
Senator, would you come forward, please? Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, how are you? So let me make sure that this is off. Anyway, it is a pleasure to be with all of you once again here today. For the first time with you, Chairwoman King. Pleasure, it's an honor. Once again, very proud and honored to be able to stand before you and celebrate the wonderful things accomplished in Tallahassee. As you know, last session, I worked diligently with Representative Senator Brian Avila on security protections for Biscayne Bay, CS for HB 1177, along with legislation to further protect victims of domestic violence, very important for us in particular lately with a lot of the mishaps and unfortunately we see in the news. But fortunately this session I was able to do a little more to protect seniors and children. Able to pass a wonderful piece of legislation called the No Patient Left Alone Act, SB 988, which ensures that patients, residents, and clients have the support of their loved ones when they need it the most. The legislation requires that intermediate care facilities for the developmentally disabled, developmental disability centers, nursing homes, assisted living facilities, hospice facilities, and hospitals allow visitation at all time, meaning that there will never again, here in the state of Florida, be a patient that is left alone. Also, we were able to pass HB 173, which is Care for Students with Epilepsy, which provides for the creation of an individualized seizure action plan for a student with epilepsy or seizure disorders to receive health care at school, something that is very important for many of us that suffer from epilepsy. I think that that's a subject that not many of us talk about, and we should be talking about. Now parents have that extra layer of protection in schools, knowing that they have a way of knowing that their child is going to be in good hands with protection protocols, education protocols with the students, and a direct communication with the doctors. Also, we were able to pass a wonderful bill called Homeless Youth, HB 1577, which expands several programs which I think are very important for our homeless youth in this area. Certified homelessness youth, including Campus Coach Program to ensure success in post-secondary education, and the Keys to Independence Program, which removes barriers for employment and anything needed for homeless youth needing all of these social benefits that are there for them. They just weren't sure how to access them. Also, I brought much attention to the situation that we encounter in Cuba with atrocities and genocide in Cuba. HM 43 recognizing that the Cuban government continues to repress all peaceful attempts by the Cuban people to bring democratic change to the island by denying universally recognized liberties and condemning the Cuban government's attempt to silence the will of the people. So with that in mind also, forgive me, we were able to pass a great law that I think will help us all. It's not completely finished, but I think it's a step in the right direction, whereas enthusiast visitors and our beautiful habitat will now be protected with the Boating Safety Act of 2022. It's SB 606, which basically focuses on illegal liveries, vessel safety, and boating safety programs. The bill addresses dangerous boating and allows law enforcement to hold irresponsible livery operations and bad actors that we see very often on our spoiler islands, on Biscayne Bay, affecting our habitat and all of the usual things that we do every weekend, which is what we enjoy from South Florida. In addition to that, we were able to secure almost $12 million in funding for projects that protect the environment, improve critical infrastructure, support mental health programs, enhance education outcomes, and assist seniors, foster children, homeless youth, and obviously the food insecure. Of those very many projects, there were projects in the Kinloch area, Kinloch roadway neighborhood improvements, Fairlawn community stormwater and drainage, East Auburndale drainage and flooding mitigation, all of that with Commissioner Manolo Reyes. We did great things as well with, pardon me, let me grab my notes here. With Commissioner Joe Carrillo, previously we had done in Little Havana the safe streets, pedestrian crosswalks. Both last session and this session, we were able to bring a fair amount of money to continue to improve the many lives that we enjoy taking care of here in this district. We did localized flooding improvements for District 3, pump station upgrades also for District 3, and tidal valves and flood improvements for District 3. In addition, outside of the city of Miami though, actually no, for Commissioner Diaz de la Portilla, not within this package, but we were able to reassure $1.6 million for the Pace School for Girls, very much needed in your area, and also make sure that the Alapata Senior Center continue to get recurring funds. For Chairwoman King, we were able to allocate $400,000 for involuntary outpatient services for mental services for those most vulnerable in the community. And for Commissioner Ken Russell, we were able to allocate $700,000 for the Community Health Center, alongside giving some additional funds for the Casa Valentina foster care youth program, which is very close to both of our hearts. Also adding to the many things needed in the area were the additional funds for the Underline, which will definitely help us and continue to connect the community together. And well, with much ado, I am very grateful and honored to be able to represent all of you in the great capital of Tallahassee. I'm very blessed by God to be able to serve and appreciate the support of my constituents, and look forward to much more bacon, as Commissioner Carolina would say, for the next legislative session next year. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Reyes.
I want to thank you because you will have worked, very diligent, and had done everything in your power, together with Representative Avila, and we have Mr. Marquin here, and the whole delegation. But you took a lead on my projects and the city projects, and thank you very much, because we need that. You see, I can start 4 different projects in my district that is going to improve the quality of life of the residents And for that, I thank you, as well as I want now to extend my gratitude to future Senator Avila and Barkin and all of Representative Barkin, Representative Perez, and Manny Diaz, and all of you guys, and the whole delegation, the state delegation was very helpful. And I also want to mention that, take the message to the governor. Thank you very much for not vetoing. I mean, the wonderful work that you did, you see. And also, I think that we have a representative here from Senator Rodriguez. I also want to mention it, and I thank you. I thank her through giving my thanks. And we're just going to get ready for the next session. Thank you, guys. Great job. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you. So how would we like to handle the presentation? Do we want to go?
Yes, let's all, any one of you want Representative Barkin, Representative Avila, you want to also address? Please, let him.
Our vice chair would like to say something as well.
Senator, I have been amazed as a rookie senator what you have been able to accomplish in your first term against many, many odds.
Thank you.
We're proud of you. We're grateful to you because if you had not been there, quite a few of the large projects in my district, some neighboring districts, I doubt if they ever would have happened. So on behalf of all our residents, we thank you for a job above and beyond what was expected that you would be able to accomplish. But at the same time, you had a good team working with you. Representative Avila has done an excellent job in helping. Representative Barking also, along with many others, and of course, Representative Perez, that is the one that's a little farther away from some of our districts, but I know he's been there also on the team to make this happen. So we're very grateful to all of you as a team for what you accomplished, but we've known who's carried the main water for us. We're very grateful.
Thank you. You said a critical word there, team. It is so important to be able to count on a good team and a good coping system, support system, because as all of you may know, this can be a very difficult, at times it seems like it's a thankless job, and it's not. I don't think there's anything more rewarding than knowing that you can make a difference, especially for the most vulnerable community. And I'm very honored to be able to work with the Miami-Dade delegation, with Representative Barkin, with future Senator Brian Avila, Senator Ana Maria Rodriguez, and the rest of the delegation. And a big motivating factor is all of you. It is an honor to be able to serve in a district that I was born and raised in, with people that I saw also help the community grow. So it is an honor for me.
Madam Chair, I don't want to leave out our thanks to Wilson, the
President Simpson,
Senate President, and also the Speaker, Chris Sprout. I met with both of them, and they gave their whole support to the projects that I presented, and thank them in our behalf. I know that Wilson is running for another office, but we're going to miss him in the Senate. We're going to miss. He was a great ally. Great ally. Thank you.
Thank you again. We would like to move forward with the presentation. It is wonderful that we can work together, and that is what good government does. So thank you again for your work.
Thank you.
Go down.
Mr. Avila?
Yep.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chairman, Commissioners. For me, it's really an honor and a privilege to be here with all of you. Certainly, I've been beyond blessed and fortunate to work with great leaders. You know, we have, Senator Garcia mentioned, a great team. You know, I serve in the military, and you know, for me, it's kind of I'm used to sort of this military structure. You know, and in that mindset, you know, I can tell you, you know, certainly our general in Tallahassee was Senator Garcia. She was instrumental in making sure that a lot of these funds came back. This is, I mean, record funding for the city of Miami. That doesn't include the $25 million for the Freedom Tower. That doesn't include, you know, the $3 million for the Bay of Pigs. You know, there's a lot here that I would say a lot of other parts in the state really didn't get, you know, this sort of support from their, you know, and this sort of hard work and determination from their delegation. So for me, it's really an honor to work with such great leaders that I know day in and day out we're putting in the hard work and the time to make sure that these projects came back to the city of Miami and address critical needs, right? Flooding, road repairs, planning for the future. We're seeing more and more people move to the state of Florida. We're seeing about 1,000 people a day come to the state of Florida. Right now, the state of Florida is the 15th largest economy in the world. The 15th largest economy in the world. We have over $1 trillion in GDP. And this community, Miami-Dade County and the city of Miami, are instrumental to that economic growth. Just to give you some context, Miami-Dade County is larger than 15 states. Larger than 15 states in the union. And with that growing demand and the need for people wanting to live in the city of Miami and in Miami-Dade County, it's essential that we have these projects. So, you know, again, for me, I am so grateful and so fortunate to work with these great leaders and to work with all of you, because without your support, none of this would be possible. I know several of you, you know, Commissioner Commissioner Reyes. I mean, we were talking on a weekly basis. You know, I know I met with the Vice Chairman, with Commissioner Diaz de la Portilla and others. I mean, it was really a team effort. So thank you so much for putting in the hard work and for advocating for your residents and for our community. Because without your support, without, you know, the hard work that this delegation has put forward under our general, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. McKean, you want to address?
Thank you, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioners. Just want to say that it's a pleasure to absolutely help you all and to help your residents. So thank you very much. I look forward to helping you all in the future, and my office is always welcome to all of you and to your residents. So thank you very much.
Chair, if I could just have the speaker's name for the record.
My apologies. Juan Fernandez Barquin, State Representative, District 119.
Thank you. Are we now ready to do the presentations? Okay.
I know, right? Sure.
That's good.
Good morning.
I don't know if we have enough space. Okay.
The whole chicken.
What?
Yeah, I was ready to jump in for it. What's up?
Ay, perdón.
One more. One more.
Thank you, brother. And, thank you always. Good.
Ávila.
Johnny. I see you work. You kind of master on your own.
I'll forward them down. I'll airdrop them. I got you, girl. I should have brought you a Celsius. I have one in the car. You can take a sip. I'll let you take a sip. Basically, just follow me.
Check presentation of the many funds that we as the negotiation point raised in this area. It is an honor to be able to collaborate, to work, and see the area that we are
At this time, I believe Commissioner Russell has some proclamations and presentations to present. Turn that over to you.
Good morning. Going back to our theme of celebrating the Bahamas, those of you who enjoyed the Goombay Festival this year, it is back. It's going to be back to stay, better than ever. But it did not happen in a vacuum. We had an amazing support team here at the City of Miami, funded by this commission, but could not have happened without the legwork of these great people. So I'd like to call each of you up, please. And if you'd come here in front of the dais, once I'm done reading, we'll come down and take a photo together and present the proclamations. These are certificates of merit of the City of Miami. And I'll read the first one, and then I'll just read the names. Mrs. Von Carol Kitchens Williams, please. In recognition of the service and actions in ensuring that the Coconut Groves Goombay Festival 2022 is a success, we recognize Mrs. Von Carol Kitchens. We are confident you will continue to excel and serve our community with distinction and contribute to the City of Miami. Next is Commander Wesleyan Lewis Francois. Next is Officer Leon Leonard. Toshiba Simonet. Jenner Romeo. Consul Chala M. Cartwright. Reynold Martin. Park Manager Vicki Rivers, Clarice Cooper, and Makia Brown. How about a round of applause for them and all of their hard work, please? Would any of you like to say anything? You're very welcome.
Good morning to each of you commissioners. It was indeed a pleasure for us to work on bringing Goombay back when it's been out of commission for at least 5 to 6 years. So we thank you all for your support. Looking forward to next year. Thank you.
I had the pleasure of joining this committee somewhere near the end, and on behalf of the Bahamas government, we are so pleased that the Goombay Festival is back, and it was a smashing success. And as you are aware, or you may not be aware, but we are about to celebrate. We just celebrated our 49th independence on July 10th. And we are looking forward to our 50th. And we can't wait for Gombe on Grand Avenue next year to highlight the Bahamas' 50th year of independence. Mrs. Kinchins-Williams and team, they have done an awesome job. I have already conveyed this, but I just want you to know again that we were very happy to have been a part of it at the, like I said, toward the end. But I saw the hard work, I saw the commitment from all of them, and the Bahamian people appreciates you. I had the opportunity to go home a few weeks ago, and they are ecstatic and cannot wait to come and be a part of the celebrations next year. So we're excited, we're happy to be a part of it, and if there's anything that we can do at the consulate's office to assist and ensure the success of your events and any other endeavors that would assist the Bahamas, you have our full support. We thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to open public comment for all other items that are appearing on the agenda for today. Anyone wishing to speak on any of the items that appear in the agenda today, please step forward. Good morning. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Good morning. Forgive me, I turned 60 last week and suddenly my eyes said, move closer. Therefore, I'll be a little succinct. Briefly, please join me in my fun fantasy fact or fiction world. I know that we can all feel that something out there is intent upon wrecking our economy, our peace of mind, our way of life. In fact, our very existence. And to that end, I admonish you all, I am merely a messenger, to wit. Be prepared to unlearn everything you were ever taught or thought as a result thereof as being the truth. It ain't. That said, in case you didn't know, it is my civic duty from the LISP Alliance, that is the Lightworkers, Indigos, Starseeds, and Patriots, to let you know that the 2020 election is being overturned. Look towards October. Your real Donald Bam Bam Trump soon returns. For those of you who have any skeletons in your closet, in your political closet, just remember, this right here is something that the White Hats can hear you breathe at all times. I strongly suggest many of you seek out x22report.com. Which reminds me, is Javier Suarez still stuck in Davos with Charles Schwab? That being said, I am still homeless, at Peacock Park, still awaiting your non-political visit, Mr. Russell. And after all the monies that were given today, over 150 million, if not more, for the homeless and the vulnerable, I am included in that cachet of money, and I would hope that all of you would consider. Again, my name is Louis Mar Zabetti Garza. Where we go one, we go all. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner. I'm just waiting for the technician to put me online here.
Which item are you speaking on today?
I will be speaking on item RE4, which is the grant agreement for Jose Marti Park.
Let me grab you an adapter.
Perfect.
You have it? The adapter.
It usually works. Thank you, sir.
Okay, we're gonna. Do you mind putting the presentation on a flash drive so I can put it on my computer? For some reason, it's not coming up.
Looks like I'm the only one. Am I gonna? We're having some technical issues. Can I come back in a few minutes?
Let me go getting the laptop ready.
Are there other folks who'd like to speak at public comment?
Mr. Vice Chair, having some technical issues. Can I come back in a few minutes?
Vice Chair, we do have another speaker we can go to for right now while Elvis is working on the technical issue. Ma'am, if you'd like to start.
My name is Maria Garnica, and I'm for the property in 4531 Northwest 6th Street, Miami, Florida. I'm here today. Thank you for having me. I'm here today bringing a problem I have with the city new rule. It affects my retirement property. I have been working 2 jobs, sometimes 3, to be able to invest all my money in this property. And now it has a lien that is more money than what the property is worth. I found out about a lien in 2012. They said that it was a lien, that it was a door connecting one of the very legal cardboard that was opened up, and I thought that was gone. My plans were for keeping this property to support my retirement. After a medical diagnosis, I put my property for sale. I realized this property had a lien. So I went back to the inspectors. They said that there was another lien for a bathroom. So after 3 years with architects, contractors, plumbers, the property was in compliance in October 2021. It took 6 months to get all the final affidavit of compliance. So now I'm here today respectfully asking to review my case. So you see that after 3 years, to the day, through a pandemic, getting contractors, getting this property up to date, up to code, and now I cannot mitigate the $541,000 lien that I have with the city. So I would respectfully ask you to review the case. I have papers, I have emails that say that I could mitigate this lien, and now after March 2022, the rule changed. I'm sorry? They told me I could come and fill up the, and
Sure, certainly, you can speak anytime, but my question is this property on the agenda today?
with the proper agenda, sir?
I don't believe.
No, no.
Okay, so what we need for us to be able to hear this is for you to go through the proper channels, and either through the city attorney's office, with the city clerk, for it to be placed on the agenda or a future agenda so we could hear it.
Go to the attorney's office.
Well, I'm not saying to resolve it necessarily, I'm saying to hear it.
But I don't know.
Maybe we can resolve, maybe we can't. I can't tell you right now.
So who do I request that
You
would
contact the city attorney's office, as they're handling.
city attorneys? Thank you. So sorry about that.
Thank you. We ready, Elvis?
Be about another 90 seconds. Had to do a
Is
restart.
there anybody else here that would like to address this body on any item in the agenda? Okay. Hearing none, then we'll just wait for you to be ready and we'll hear you.
I appreciate that very much, Commissioner.
Mr. Vice Chair? If Elvis is going to take a little while, I'm happy to move the CA and the PH agendas, as I believe he's speaking on an RE item.
That's correct. Thank you.
Okay. There's a motion to move the CA agenda minus CA 3 and 4 that were taken out. Hearing no further discussions, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Let's now jump to PH.
Can we track the mic, please?
We have a motion for the PH.
So moved.
Motion, Commissioner Russell. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Reyes. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It passes unanimously.
And Vice Chair, just for the record, that excludes PH 7, which was indefinitely deferred.
Yes, mine is PH 7, which was indefinitely deferred.
Would you like a motion on the RE agenda outside of Mr. Cruz's item?
Let's wait for the chair now that she's back so she can go on. Chair, we did the CA and
Yay.
PH.
And the PHs?
Yes. So,
RE1 is already passed. Do I have a motion for RE2, 3, 4, 5, and 6?
Chair, Mr. Cruz is here to speak on RE4, so...
He hasn't finished?
There was some...
now we got started.
I'm ready now. But I'm glad you're here to hear it. All right. May I begin?
Go right ahead.
Commissioners-
And you're speaking on
RE4.
RE4.
Thank you. Elvis Cruz, 631 Northeast 57th Street. Item RE4 is a grant agreement for Jose Marti Park, which requires mangroves and living shorelines that would greatly harm the public's enjoyment. Mangroves offer minuscule protection from flooding and storm surge. This picture from Florida Fish and Wildlife clearly shows coastal mangroves destroyed by Hurricane Irma with much erosion. Mangroves cannot defy the laws of physics. The Nature Conservancy showed that a 1 kilometer wide mangrove forest only reduced the depth of storm surge by 9.4 centimeters. 1 kilometer is from here to Shipping Avenue. I'm holding up 9.4 centimeters. That's how much it was reduced. They do sequester carbon, as does any tree anywhere in the world. 1 acre of mangroves sequesters less carbon than 1 car's yearly output. This agenda item has no plans attached. How can you commit to a landscape agreement without plans? But the consultant's plans proposed .071 acres of mangroves, which would yield only $40 worth of flood protection and sequester carbon from 19 gallons of gasoline per year. That's minuscule. For mangroves to have significant environmental benefit, you need a large area. A shoreline strip is just a token for the look, window dressing, ornamental environmentalism. Same thing with planting 3-foot-tall marsh grass. All that would do is prevent the public from using the area. If anyone doubts anything I've said, I invite them to challenge me. The city often lets consultants make the creative decision rather than receiving their information and then having the city and logical public input make the creative decisions. Big problem. Seawalls should be placed at the shoreline, not inland. This alternative concept for Jose Marti Park shows a seawall allowing boats to dock along the river. In closing, the landscaping required by this agreement would greatly harm the public interest by disrupting riverfront recreational open space and obstructing river views. Please amend the agreement to not allow that to happen. Thank you for your indulgence.
Thank you, Elvis.
I have some information I'm going to hand out through the clerk now.
It's fine. Is there anyone else here for public comment? Seeing none, public comment period is closed. And did we take the PHs?
We did.
Yes.
We did.
So
Where are the REs?
okay. So may I have a motion for
So moved.
RE 2, 3, 4,
If
5?
I could pull 4 out.
We pulled out 4.
I'm asking to right
Oh,
now. So
okay.
we can discuss it.
We want to pull 4. Yes. I'm sorry, I had it mute.
Okay.
New system.
Controls us too.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of Miami City Commission. Zeri Ihekwaba, Deputy City Manager. Mr. Elvis Cruz, we do acknowledge some of your observations. However, I think your reference information source is a little out of date. Subsequent to a discussion about the propriety of having mangroves on shoreline, sponsored by Commissioner Carollo, the administration actually reached out to the state and amended the application. On May 26, the city sent an email asking the state to strike out and delete all references to mangroves in our application. And on June 30th, they conceded to that request in writing.
In other words, through the chair, in other words, mangroves are not included in that.
They are not included in that application.
I think that will.
We have the documents with
We'll
us that
take care of that.
My next question. The seagrass, the highest it'll get is 3 feet or so, and that's not going to block the view of a grown-up you've seen across. I'm not as concerned with that as I am with mangroves. But in this application, how many slips or areas of dockage are we proposing to have in Jose Marti Park?
The current plan shows 1 slip for a water taxi with the ability to add another slip. So we have a maximum of 2 slips, and that's regulated by the county.
Regulated
By Miami-Dade County, the Manatee Protection Plan.
Well, we could ask for more, can't we? Try to get
We would have to amend the Manatee Protection Plan in order to be able to do that.
There's one that we could get, actually 2. One for a water taxi and then another one.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Commissioner Carollo, may I respond?
Yes.
Thank you, through the chair. Thank you. I'm very thankful for what Zeri had to say. However, please know that in this agenda item, in your packet, the agreement, and if they could connect my computer back up to the slideshow, on page 24, it does specifically say mangroves.
I know. And this is being taken out of here, correct? The mangroves?
Correct. We have confirmation from the state accepting the deletion of mangroves from the agreement.
Okay, so for the record, submitted to the state, that mangroves will be taken out of this application on page 24, and that, in fact, mangroves will be deleted from page 24.
Excuse me, Chair. Madam City Attorney, does the legislation need to be amended in any way, shape, or form, or can we pass it as is?
If there's something, if something's being submitted, then it needs to be amended.
Understood.
Right, so I will move forward and make a motion with the amendment on PH4.
Ari?
Ari?
Commissioner Russell, have a great
Yeah, RE4, sorry.
I second it.
So are we ready now to
2 through 5?
vote on 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6?
Right.
6 is
Yes.
done.
Then I will make a further motion to include all.
We'll second.
With RE4 being amended, understood.
As
Yes.
amended.
All in favor? And do you show me as a co-sponsor for RE6? Well, we did RE6 already.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so it's actually RE2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
All passes.
Thank you.
Mr. City Clerk, do you have me as a sponsor for PH6?
Say again?
PH6, do you show me as a sponsor for PH6? I had stepped out.
Understood. We'll show you as a co-sponsor for PH6.
I don't think they have a sponsor, it's just I'm the sponsor.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, first reading item, FR1. I'd like to sponsor FR1. Would any of my colleagues like to discuss either of the first reading ordinances, FR1 or FR2?
I'll move them.
Second,
Who's the second?
I am. All in favor?
And the title?
Victoria?
An ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 2, Article 11, Division 21, Section 2-1328.1 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida is amended titled Administration Boards, Committees, Commissions, Wynwood Business Improvement District, Wynwood Design Review Committee, to amend the requirements for qualifications and terms of office for members of the Wynwood Design Review Committee, and to amend the functions, powers, and duties of the WDRC containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. FR2, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 10, Article 6, Section 101 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida is amended titled Buildings, Unsafe Structures Panel, to require certain residential buildings owners to house and pay for the reasonable relocation costs of the displaced residents, and should the owner fail to provide sufficient housing, further require reimbursement to the city for any relocation costs paid by the city, providing for placement of lien on owner's property for any unreimbursed relocation expenses incurred by the city, amend notice provisions and enlargement of time for compliance after notice of violation, and to clarify enforcement options, containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Mr. City Clerk, do you have any board appointments at this time?
Thank you, Chair. EC2, Affordable Housing Advisory Committee. The Department of Housing and Community Development is seeking confirmation of Hector Mirable to an at-large seat associated with the mortgage banking industry, and Annie Lord to an at-large seat associated with an advocate for low-income persons.
So moved.
Second.
Is-
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Chair, you can't make the motion. You can second.
He did it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Then you go ahead and handle it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
DC7, Climate Resilience Committee. Chairwoman King will be reappointing Nkosi Muse. Commissioner Russell will be appointing Aaron DeMaio to the Coastal Management category, and the City Manager will be appointing Assistant Fire Chief Adrian Placencia.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 BC 11, Community Relations Board. Commissioner Russell will be appointing Francois Alexander and Christopher Hernandez.
I'll make the motion.
Been moving second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
BC 16, Housing and Commercial Loan Committee. The Department of Housing and Community Development is seeking confirmation of Hector Mirabile to an at-large seat associated with the mortgage banking industry and Annie Lord to an at-large seat associated with an advocate for low-income persons. The city manager will be appointing David Snow.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
BC 21, Miami River Commission. Commissioner Croyle will be appointing Spencer Crowley to an at-large seat.
Move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Chair. That concludes the boards and committees.
At this time, we will take up our discussion items. DI 1, Olympia Theater.
Madam Chair. Thank you very much. As you all know, the Olympia Theater is in need of much love, redevelopment, and activation. It's getting dire. The manager's been working on this for the last year, working on a plan to bring to us, and is now looking for direction from this commission. The concept has been compiled by Richard Heisenbottle. There's a very comprehensive plan that he's created. There's a link online that anyone can click and look at, where he's gone soup to nuts to find every missing screw, every rusted window, every leak, every piece of mold, which gives a basic costing for what is needed to bring the Olympia up to full speed. The concept that has been proposed, and this is the question which is for this commission to decide, that if we are to issue an RFP, what should that concept be? The concept right now that is on the table is a boutique hotel with 80 rooms on the front and a theater on the back, all contained under one management system for both redevelopment and activation and management and booking. That way it's all managed under one, and all the funds generated there get to stay there and help continue its deferred maintenance. I just want to make sure that all commissioners feel the same about this. And if we do, that we give direction to the manager to bring back an RFP at the end of this month that he can then release, that over the summer will be advertised and people can come back after the summer and bid on it.
Madam Chair,
Yes?
I do agree with you. We have to act fast because we have to save the Olympia, particularly theater. Now, I am all in favor for an RFP, but as one of the conditions in that RFP, we have to include that they must have some experience managing theater. See, which is the most important. The most important part of that building is the theater. See, and so we need to include and make it clear that all the participants, they have knowledge of how and experience on how to run a theater, but if any type of thing. Okay, that's my only contribution.
Madam Chair, this is your district. What
Yes.
say you?
Well, I am not ready to discuss this item. I need to get some more information on it. I see it here as a discussion item. I'm not ready to take any action on this.
But we need to move.
I agree.
I agree, and I would like to see the proposal that you were referring to.
The hope today was not to get action, but to get the temperature of this dais in terms of the basic parameters of what we would want or not want there. And ideas have been proposed in the past to build above it, for example. And I think there's consensus not to do that. But that's what this discussion was meant for, so that the manager gets a little direction as he brings something back to us.
Okay.
Okay, so if that's all, that concludes our agenda for today.
Right.
At this time, the City of Miami Commission meeting for July 19th, 2020 is officially closed.
Thank you, ma'am. Very efficient as always.